Hello, everybody, and welcome to podcast number 64 of The Real Estate Show. I'm Cherise Selley. With me is Shawna Uheling. We are part of Selley Group Real Estate here in Colorado Springs. We're bringing you local, relevant, I don't even know what is local and relevant, real estate knowledge, as well as international and national news as it comes up and it seems applicable. We are so excited to be back with you and hope that all of you have had an incredible Thanksgiving time. So
yes,
we are thankful for you. And the fact that we have like 2 or 3 viewers now for a podcast show. So for each one
your
of
mom, my mom, and who else?
And Ron.
He's still there, huh?
He's still, he's hanging in there,
Faithful.
hanging by a thread. He's like, if it doesn't get more interesting on this next video series, then we're going to just have to say, I'm putting the kibosh on it.
Okay, well.
So we have to make this one good.
No pressure.
None. 0. Let's recap the October stats because we don't have November's yet. So the average sales price in October of 22, $532,488. So that's about 4.4% up from October of last year, which was at $510. The median home price, $465. So that's up at 4.3% from October of last year, which was $446. So we're up about 4 to 4.5%.
Yeah.
As far as pricing from this time last year. What's different is the active inventory. We talked about it the last podcast. I'll reiterate it this one. October of 2022, we had 2,645 active properties. This time last year in October, 1,048.
Yeah,
active.
That's significant.
Like significant, an increase of 152%.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more choices for buyers. And that's part of what's driving prices to be a little bit different because sales have declined from this time versus last year, from now versus last year. So October of 2022, 1,100 sales versus 1,641. So 33% down in sales and 152% up in inventory. So, hey, the world isn't dying. We're not crashing. This is not a hard crash and burn, but this is a turn where we have, the weird thing is we have this buyer's market going on. But believe it or not, even with all the numbers that I'm talking about with inventory and supply, we're still low inventory, folks. For the city.
Yeah.
For the scale and the size of El Paso County, Colorado Springs, it's not like we're dealing with an exorbitant amount of supply.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
We have 2.4 months as far as active inventory on the market. This time last year, it was 0.6. So, that's changed a lot too. So when people are asking what is wrong and what's going on, now you have a little bit better of a frame of reference. And Shawna, we're getting calls, from people that are calling. And one thing we cannot do, and just want to reiterate this, we love to work with our clients and buyers and sellers. But when we get a call and a home is already listed by another agent, and maybe it's been listed for 5 days, and they're going, my home isn't selling, and can you look at it because something's wrong?
Yeah.
We, first of all, we're not going to go out and solicit for business, or if somebody calls us and they're listed with another agent, we understand that maybe you're not completely satisfied with the process, or maybe the expectations weren't set up to begin with.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about listing your property unless the fulfillment of the listing agreement that you already have has been made. So we can't sign cross, or we can't go and ask you or tell you that we want to list your home right now. We're not going to tell you how to fire your agent. That's between you, your agent, their broker, and you have to go through your own contract. Just want that to be clear because we have been getting calls. So I think it's important that people know we're here to help when you're not under an active listing agreement with somebody else.
Yep. Good advice.
I didn't even think about talking about that, but it's come up a few times, and thought it might be important just for people to know. We have our own parameters that we need to follow and that are moral and ethical as well as legal. So, Shawna, I mean, we had such an interesting forum where we had, I think, over 400, nearly 500 agents that showed up.
There was a lot.
Empire Title, who is now owned by Stuart Title, invited, it was amazing, Dr. Ted Jones, he's the chief economist for Stuart Title, to come out. And I don't think I've seen this many agents in one place since before, like it's been since COVID. I mean, I think I was doing a little bit of shaking. I didn't know how to handle that many people in the room, but it was awesome to see that our real estate community came together for a great reason. And I mean, this podcast will air several weeks after this forum happened, but the information that I think both of us are taking away, it's very relevant. And by the way, if any of you listeners would like the slides from the show, because I actually have the presentation, you can reach out to us, send a message, and we'll be happy to send you the slides because there is so much information. I bet there's over 50 or 60 slides.
Yeah, there was so much information.
Shawna, I know your eyes were rolling in the back of your head at some point.
I was taking a lot of notes.
But you know, I think one thing, okay, let's just forget the economy for a minute and let's talk about electricity, okay? Because I thought it was so interesting that out of all the things he could have started talking about, he started talking about electric vehicles. Do you remember that?
That is true.
He said that a level 3 EV charger uses as much electricity as 55 homes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
On average during the 20 to 40 minute charging cycle.
I'm putting it more twinkle lights because I don't have one of those chargers.
Shawna,
I'm going to blow my transformer with Christmas lights.
You are. Well, and you probably wouldn't use as much as a level 3 EV charger.
Yeah, that was super interesting.
It was. I mean, I don't think that I even knew.
Well, I think the whole electricity side of, electric vehicles, I don't think it's caught up the infrastructure with the ideas that everyone has, and some of the laws that are even being passed of.
We'll see what happens.
Forcing, we'll see.
We'll see, right? I mean, I think it's great. I know a lot of people support it, but I just think some of the people that support it, as much as we want to see progress and change, there's some things, like you're saying, some things haven't caught up to that
Maybe
progress.
The cart before the horse, but they're getting there.
They are getting there. That's right. And let's talk about population and changes in population, because through COVID, there was this huge exodus. And
shift.
Such a shift. And Dr. Ted Jones was talking about and showed, based on the United States Census Bureau, where all the movement was happening. So this isn't a test, Shawna, but do you remember? I know you might have been sleeping. You might have been getting coffee.
I wasn't sleeping.
The number one state for population change, the most
increase?
growth.
Florida?
No, it's in the top 10. So you do get a point for that.
Oh, good.
It was Idaho.
Idaho, yeah. Yes.
Idaho.
Because all of California moved there.
So Idaho, Utah, Montana, Arizona, South Carolina, Delaware, Texas, Florida, Nevada, Colorado was number 17 for the greatest percentage gain overall from 2020 to 2021. So we had a healthy increase of people coming in, but not so much that we can't contain it either.
Right.
So I think that was interesting to know. And what do you think? I mean, did you feel very positive about what he was saying as far as jobs?
I don't remember the jobs necessarily. I felt negative as the country as a whole, but I felt positive about Colorado because he did have a lot of positive stats with Colorado, and a lot of times we were in the top 10 of 50 states in a lot of the categories. But with the jobs, what in particular did he say?
Well, I think that we're just a very strong state for jobs and for job growth. And so We're kind of actually more in the middle. We're not on the decline, which is good. So like the worst place is Delaware for job declines. And the very best place for job growth is New Hampshire, if you can believe that. But Colorado is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So we're at 0.2%. So, I mean, we have job growth. We have a lot of changes in jobs in Colorado, but a lot of job stability, a lot of things happening particularly in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and that's one thing I took away is how stable we are as a local economy, which is, pretty encouraging. He was even surprised.
I think he
with
was.
Some of the real local stats.
So I think that, for Colorado Springs, yes, we're going to see, and he predicts, and he predicted it through the research done by Bloomberg, that we should be most likely in a full-blown recession by spring of 2023. And if that is the truth, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a complete housing crash.
No.
And the reason why I'm saying that is there's still an inventory thing. Right. And homes are still selling. But interest rates are going to drive a lot of what happens, and we'll see. None of us can know perfectly what's coming. No. We can forecast, but we don't know perfectly. That's why in our last podcast, we talked about having that 5-year mentality of holding. Don't have a short-sighted way of thinking about real estate right now. Yeah. And you're going to be safer. He also said in a slide, the first indicator of a softening, downturning real estate market is a decline in sales as prices rise strongly. So we are seeing that even locally. We're seeing there's a decline, as we just talked about in the stats earlier, in sales and prices were rising. And that was happening. We hit that threshold like in the late spring of this year, and we are definitely seeing a decline now with overall market conditions here.
Yeah, and we're it's with the season also because that doesn't help during Christmas. With the markets going down.
In fact, you're ready to go get your holiday on right now, aren't you?
I already got it on.
I know you are. But I think, we should expect that people who are saying, should I wait until next year to sell? Is the market going to get better next year? Well, I would expect that we're going to still be on a downward trend. So there's a lot of ways to look at that, but just patience is going to be key as well.
Yeah, and it's such an individual decision with so many different factors for each person. So that's why we encourage you to reach out and seek help, because we really can help you navigate some of those questions.
100%.
And we're not looking out for our own best interests and wanting to nab your house as a listing. We want what's best for our clients. And half the time now it's
counseling.
And,
we're full-time counselors.
Yeah.
But, we always have been. And that's the truth. It's just that now there's more space in the marketplace to actually talk through scenarios. And the good news is people have more processing time. Yeah. Which is healthy in a way. We all need that. So,
that's true.
We appreciate the fact that you're trying to process through the market, and we really do track this stuff so that you don't have to, and that you can kind of relax in knowing that we're going to make and help you. We don't make your decisions for you, but we can at least give you and hedge your decisions around some factual data that will help you to know whether you should hold or not, sell or not, buy or not, because your experience is so unique to who you are.
It's true.
Isn't that right?
Yep.
All right, Shawna. Well, this might be our last podcast together before the new year, but I sure enjoy doing this with you. And you are just Shawna Shark. You've got this thing down, girl.
Well, so do you, girl.
Very proud of you. And we are so grateful for our clients. And we just continue to wish all of you a very special time as you're processing the end of this year, the holiday time. And thank you so much for letting us be a part of your life and your community.
Yes, thank you.